Mind is just too strong. One, I'm also in a position where I'm kind of backed by a lot more than like what everybody else might possibly have. Like I know, like I'm gonna be straight after football, period. If I didn't have $1 in my account right here today, as we speak, I'm gonna be straight for the rest of my life. No question, right? I don't think everybody is in that. And when you've sacrificed your whole life to get here, and you're like, yeah, I played 10 years in the league. And I always explain this to people, I'm like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year, you know, that you have to spend, use,
Save,
invest, flaunt, like whatever, however, just being real. I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna give my mama a house, I'm gonna do, everything costs money. So if you spending $4 million a year, that's really 40 million over 5 years, 8 a year, you know? And now you start breaking down the numbers, it's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting 8 million. Can you make that last forever? And you always hear the people who ain't us and ain't been in the position, like, oh, well, that would last a lifetime. Yeah, this job that I sacrificed my whole life for, they are giving me that. I didn't ask for the certain dollar amount or whatever, but we weren't taught about no financial literacy and all the way. We weren't
talk about it all the time.
We weren't taught this skill, and it's kind of like, I'll keep this one under wraps, but I got some things in the work that like, I'm gonna be able to, the generations that are coming up behind us, when you talk about the storm that me and like moms went through, like, I'll be able to be that for somebody else and to be able to help their family on how things are gonna go and yada, yada, yada.
OBJ, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If you get $60 million liquid and that can't last you a lifetime, you got a problem.
Well, hold on, hold on. Let's before you go on.
Yeah.
Think about all the lottery winners, right?
Yes.
They all went broke.
Yes. Because cause think about what
all of them.
What did he say? What he put something in there at the end.
What did he say?
You spend,
yeah,
use, save, invest, flaunt.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Ocho.
Yeah.
Do you really need 10 houses? Do you really need 15 cars?
No.
Do you need to buy everybody in your house, everybody in your family a mansion that costs $1 million, $2 million?
Mm-mm.
Because here's the thing.
Yes.
First of all, if you buy somebody in your house, your family a house that costs $1 million to $2 million,
yeah.
First of all, they can't afford the upkeep on it. Because if they could, they'd have it already. See, it ain't the payment, it's the upkeep.
Right.
When ish go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So now you buy somebody a Mercedes, you buy somebody a Ferrari, you bought somebody a high-end car.
Yeah.
Now you said, okay, I bought you this. You got to get the upkeep.
Right.
Something happened to it. Tire go flat. Who they calling, Ocho?
You.
But here's the thing.
Yes.
Bro say he's spending $4 million a year. If you spending $4 million a year and it ain't a business related, you out your mind. Ain't no way spending $4 million a year.
Hey, that's a lot of money there, boy. Factor that stuff in when the money's coming in because it's coming in so fast and it comes in huge chunks.
Yes.
Everyone doesn't factor. Everyone doesn't have that financial savviness or that financial discipline to think long term. That's
get no Ferrari, didn't get a Lambo. But here's the thing, Ocho. Let me see what he didn't tell you, how it adds up. Flying private.
Oh yeah. Hey, Uncle, it go crazy. Hold on, Uncle. Now you be flying private too. Now I done seen you with your feet kicked up eating Popeye.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Yes.
Now you see why I fly Spirit the past 20 years.
Ocho, but I don't fly everywhere private.
Right.
I don't go overseas private. You're talking about anywhere from between 10 and 20,000 an hour. If you fly overseas, like I said, Ocho, if you got a business, you running a business. Businesses cost because you have employees.
Right.
You gotta pay for insurance and you gotta pay for 401k
overhead
and all that other stuff. So I understand that. But if your yearly expenses and you ain't got no business and you spending $4 million, man, you out your, look here, you need to be Bezos. I need to be, Ocho, for me to spend $4 million a year, I need to be making $50 million a year.
Yeah.
$60 million a year. Not no 60, like no $100 million contract.
Right.
I need to be making LeBron James type money, 120 a year.
Yeah. God.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in, and I had a links in the description where you can watch the clips in the beginning in full from the Pivot podcast, and also Nightcap, where they spoke on the Odell Beckham clip that was actually recorded on the Pivot podcast probably about like a month or so ago, I think, where he made an appearance on there. And I had already seen clips from it kind of hitting the internet right at that time. I think this one had hit a while back as well, but in the last week or so, it had gained way more steam, which led to Ocho Cinco and Shannon Sharpe speaking on it. And I did put more to the clip than what they got circulating so you can get the full context, because I kind of want to shoot Odell Beckham some bail there when you hear that first part where he says, well, hey, I'm going to be straight because of my position and my backing and what I got going on. But it's kind of saying, like he said, everybody's not going to have this type of situation like me. And then he also talked about, hey, I want to teach and have things in place for financial literacy in the future so people can learn from my stories and others of how this thing can happen. When you put it all in the spectrum, it's kind of like he's saying $100 million. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But let me break it down for you. If you're spending too much, you can go broke. But when a common person hears this and you listen to it, especially without the beginning and the end of it, it's kind of like, hold on, bro. You say you spend $4 million a year? Dog, we would love to have $60 million. Anybody living life, working every day, hustling, majority of 99.9% of Americans ain't gonna touch $60 million in their lifetime. So they're like, hold on, bro. If we can make it work off of this, you better figure it out. And I get that sentiment as well, but I do think he was pushing the overall of how people do go broke. But either way, it's a healthy conversation to have. And what Shannon Sharpe was saying as well was most definitely factual. The more you spend in creating high overheads, you going and splurging on other people, putting them in positions where you still gonna have to take care of them. Once that money slow down, that is how you could go broke. Once you have this lifestyle of living lavish, you've upgraded everything to the most expensive. If you haven't found the way to make that money work for you, use it as a tool to where, I made this 60 million, which was meaning, in this many years I was making, if I break it all down, I'm making 10 million a year. But in that third or fourth year, I ain't learned how to turn that 30 million or 40 million into an 80 and make it keep going up. The more money I spend, the more and more I'm hurting myself in the future once this large sum stop coming in. And that's what happened with a lot of NFL careers, NBA athletes, other people who have been found in different ways where they've been blessed with some financial income, or even people that hit the lottery at times that we've seen. They have those stories on the internet where those people spent all that money and ran through it. And what he was speaking on too is financial literacy, where, yep, they do have financial advisors when they get drafted, or they go to the league and stuff. Some of them get those financial advisors and they have troubles because they don't want to listen to the financial advisors, or they find ways to go sneak around. Sometimes the financial advisors mess over them as well. But that financial literacy is something that's not pushed as a thing in school, like a mandatory class. So we don't be having that education, and then our homes don't have that education a lot of times because our people steady trying to figure it out as well. So I get what he was saying overall. Think it's a healthy conversation, but I do know, just me keeping it 100, I ain't never been no multi-million-dollar person, never had no money like that. Doing this and doing what I do, I've found the way, and I've made more money than I've ever made, and I understand what the overall sentiment was like. Hey, bro, you get $100 million. You can't spend $60 million, dog, keeping it all the way 100. If you're spending too much, you're trying to take care of people, you're going to have to tell some people no. The only way you're going to be able to go up, and just take care of all these people, do all these things, if you one of them dudes that send them 500 millions and things like that, or you found the way to keep adding on to the type of money you was always making. Yes, you can put this money in things, and the way you make money, you can put it into accounts that gain interest. They got different little setups you can do. They also got other, you know, you can invest in businesses or stocks, but all that ain't guaranteed all the time, and it don't return a large investment. It keep you afloat. Well, okay, well, you can live off this every year, but just keeping it 100, you know, when you hear that 4 million, it's like, hold on, bro, what you said, $4 million? Ain't that's like, I ain't the best at math, but that's like $300K a month, 320, 310. I'm not the math scholar, but I know that's like 300,000 a month. People go like, boy, what did you spending your money on? But if you try to live fast, booking flights, balling, getting every new car, cashing out, you will spend your last on it. So you got to be disciplined in this game. But tell me what y'all think about. I think it's a real healthy conversation. That's why I wanted to come speak on it myself right here. We got more coming, more videos, all that. 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.